Okay, let's go ahead and divide by that. So let's do 156,237 divided by 2 pi. And you should be able to put 2 pi in the denominator, right? And then hit enter. You guys should be getting 245,416, right? That number. So let's write out the whole thing, 245,416.5057. I'm going to write the whole thing out. I don't want to round yet because I'm not at my answer. I'm almost there. Okay, now to undo a cube, just like squared, right? Remember in class, you guys, if I said x squared equals 25, and I said, what would we do to both sides? We would square root, right? Square roots cancel squares. Well, cube roots cancel cubes. So I'm going to take the cube root of both sides here. So that long funky number in your calculator, we got to do the cube root of that. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do that on the calculator. So let me share my calculator real quick. Share calculator. Okay, you guys should be able to see my calculator now. All right, so we need to cube root this number. So in my calculator, let me find it. There it is. You might have to hit like the second function, the shift, but mine's right here, if you can see it right here. Or a lot of calculators will have this button right here that you can use this, right? So I'm going to hit 245,416.5057, and then I'm going to cube root it. I'm going to use this cube root button, and we should be getting that. Okay, let me show you how you can use it with the other button. So I would go 245,416.5057, and then I'm going to use this one right here. So if you have this button on your calculator, you click it, and now it's asking you what root. Well, we want to do the third root, right? Which means cube root, and I hit enter. At least I thought I did. There you go. And see how we get the same thing. Okay. Now, I think it's okay that we round this at this point. So maybe we just go to like 3 decimal spots, right? Because we're still not at our final answer because we want the diameter. So I can go 62.609, right? That is our radius. So let me go back. Let me 62.609. Okay, so the radius is equal to 62.609, but the question didn't ask us for the radius. It asked for the diameter, right? So all we got to do is take this number and multiply it by 2 to get the diameter. So let's do that, and then we can round it 0.609, and then we're going to multiply it by 2, and we should be getting 125.2, right? 125.2 is the diameter. Hopefully we did all that work that we're going to be correct. So let's go back to Delta Math. 125.2. Again, you can watch a help video, right? If on a tough one, make sure you guys use that if you need it. Hit yes. Oops, says I'm wrong. What happened there? Oh, you know what? It's a rounding error. Because what happened, see, that's kind of, look at how close we are though. So the reason why we're a little bit off is because he is, let's go find pi. If you notice for pi, he doesn't use the pi button for pi. So I want you guys to ignore that. Like if you're really close like that, the reason why we're close, like, but it's off a little bit, it's just because this site, it's not using, I tell you guys to use the pi button, right? When you calculate it, but he's not doing that, okay? He's using 3.14 for pi. So you guys got to understand that it's not like we did it wrong. Our answer is actually just more accurate than this one. So actually we're more right than the website, right? So just keep that in mind when you're doing that, okay? He's using 3.14 for pi. I tell you guys to use the pi button. You know, it's something that's hard to avoid when we use these sites because we never know what they're going to do. So hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have questions, let me know. Okay, let's look at a new problem. So same thing here, it's giving you a hemisphere type question with the volume. So you would repeat that same exact process. These are tough ones. These are good, challenging ones. Try them. Do the best that you can. I might let's go back. So now let's go to volume of a pyramid. Let's do 2 here, and then we'll do maybe 2 of a cone. Okay, so it says find the volume of a pyramid with a square base. So that's going to be important, guys. If it tells you the base is a square, that means all sides are the same. Where the area of the base is 15.4 and the height is 13.2. Okay, I got to remember that. So let's go to 15.4, 13.2. Okay, so let's first, I like to draw the figures so we can see what we're dealing with here. So I have like just kind of a square pyramid here. So looks like that. There we go. And it tells us that the height is, let me go double check the height. I already forgot. The 15.4 and 13.2. Okay, so it says that the height of this pyramid is 13.2, and it tells us the area of the base is 15.4 centimeters squared. So they're already giving us the area of the base. You don't need to calculate that. Sometimes you have to calculate the area of the base. This time you don't. They're already telling us what it is. How do we find the volume of any object? You should know by now that the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height, except for the sphere. The sphere is kind of a special one. But you know now from the notes that when it's pointed or it only has one base, right? So it's pointed like a pyramid or a cone, you have to divide it by 3. That's the only difference. Remember, capital B is base area, and then obviously H is height. They already gave us the base area. They told us that it was 15.4. And they gave us the height too. That was nice, 13.2. And then divided by 3. So that's all we got to do, 15.4. So grab your calculator, 15.4 times 13.2, and then divided by 3. You guys should be getting 67.76. And centimeters cubed is the volume. But I think it wanted it to the 10th place, if I remember correctly. So we would say 67.8 centimeters cubed. All right, let's go check that out. Let's see what they want. Yeah, 10th place, so 67.8. Definitely should be right here, and we're right. We don't have to use pi on this problem, so we're good there. You should get it exactly if you're not using pi. Okay, so that's volume of a pyramid. Why don't you guys type in the chat if you want to see another volume of the pyramid? If you guys want to see like another pyramid one, tell me yes or tell me no, because if you don't, we can always just move on to the last one, because we did kind of go a little bit long. We've already been in here for about 27 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys too long. So let me know, yes or no. Do you want to see another volume of pyramid? Okay, let's do just one more real quick. We'll only have 3 more. I'll go pretty quick. Ooh, this is a good one. So it says find the volume of the pyramid with a square base. So there's that square base again. If it's a square base, you guys, that means all sides are the same. It says the perimeter of the base is 4.1 and the height is 1.7. 4.1 and 1.7. Okay, so let's go to my whiteboard. Okay, so we have a there's our pyramid. It's a square base. It says that the perimeter is 4.1. And I already forgot the height. Let me go double check the height. And it says that the height is 1.7. Okay, so the height of this guy, how tall it is 1.7. Okay, so to find the volume of this object, we need the area of the base times the height divided by 3. So we need to figure out the area of this base down here. Okay, well, they're kind of making us work a little bit. They're telling us that the perimeter is 4.1. The perimeter means add up all the sides. Well, if all 4 sides are the same, we can just do 4.1 divided by 4. So if I do 4.1 divided by 4, I get 1.025. You guys should have a calculator and be doing that with me, right? So if I add up all the sides, I get 4.1. But if I divide it by 4, that means all the sides are 1.025 then, right? That's important because that helps us find the base area, right? Because to find the base area, remember, this is a rectangle. It's length times width. So I'm just going to do 1.025 times 1.025. So to find base area, 1.025 times 1.025. So if I square that, I get even a more funky decimal. So my base area, I'm going to write it all out, 1.050625. That's my base area. And I'm not going to round it because it's not my final answer, right? So now we're almost done. So base area is 1.050625 times a height of 1.7, and then all divided by 3. Times 1.7 equals, and then if I divide that by 3, I should be getting it's a pretty small pyramid. I should be getting 0.59, which rounds to 0.6. And I think it was centimeters again, so centimeters cubed if we're rounding to the 10th place. So let's go back, enter that in and see how we did. So 0.6, submit, yes, boom, we got it right. Look at that, cool. And then it shows you the work, and of course there's help videos. All right, let's finish off with the volume of a cone here. It says find the volume of a right circular cone that has a height of 14.7 and a base with a circumference of 13. Okay, so 14.7 and 13. So I have a cone. Okay, right circular just means that when it comes down to the height, it forms a right angle. All right, and then let's see, I just want to make sure I got the details right. It said height 14.7, circumference of 13. So circumference is 13, and then the height is 14.7. Okay, how do we find the volume of this guy? So the volume of this guy is, can you guys see my screen? I'm just double checking. You guys cannot see my screen right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, you're still on Delta Math. Okay, make sure you guys, sometimes I forget to check back. I'm sorry. There we go. Can you see my screen now? The whiteboard screen? Okay. Sometimes I forget to, I have to keep like switching back and forth, and when I'm going too fast, I forget to do that. So please type in the chat if I forget to do that. Thank you for those that did. You guys notify me. So please let me know because sometimes I forget to do it. I'm sorry. So I have a right cone right here. It's got a height of 14.7 and a circumference of 13. Remember, circumference just means the distance around a circle. That's the circumference, right? Guys, to find the volume of this object, it's the same thing. It's the area of the base times the height, and we have to divide it by 3 because it's pointed. We only have one base, right? It's not like the cylinder that had 2 bases, right? That's different. You don't divide by 3 there, okay? So to find the area of the base, notice how it's a circle. Well, how do I find the area of that base if it's a circle? You should know that it's pi r squared. So we need the radius in order to do that. Well, that's a problem. They didn't give us the radius. So they're really kind of making us work. But these are good questions for you guys. They're good, challenging questions for you. But I can use the circumference formula, right? Don't we know that the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, right? And they're telling us that the circumference is 13, right? Pi times the diameter. So I can solve for the diameter by dividing by pi. So let's do 13 divided by pi in your calculator. You guys should be getting like 4.13802, right? That's the diameter, right? But I don't want the diameter, I want the radius. Well, we know that the radius, we just have to divide by 2. So I'm going to divide it by 2. And there you go. Look, I get a radius of, I'm just going to go 4 decimal places. So 2.069. And then I guess I could leave off that 0. So I'm just going to call that the radius. If you round it to 3 or 4 decimal places, that's extremely, extremely accurate. And you can do that, even though we're not at the final answer, right? So now I'm going to take the radius, I'm going to plug it in here so I can figure out what